letter. Interesting enough, this letter, dalet, is the picture in Hebrew of a door. So if we go through the door of this tribe, we will find the father's name. If you take the dalet from Yahudah, you have Yahuwah. This is the name that was spoken to Moses. It is that simple. It has been established through all the names of the prophets. He has left a record. He said that he was going to publish his name to the entire world. It is on his chosen tribe, the tribe that the Messiah would come through. And this is a wonderful testimony to the modern day Jews. The word Jew referring to Judah, which is in the Hebrew Yahudah. His name is on his people. People say that the name will make his people stumble. I say that by his name, his people will be released. The captives will be set free once again. And all of Israel will dance and sing to his glorious name forever and forever according to the scriptures. Remember that the commandments of men make the word of God of no effect. Now, what I want to look at and I want to examine is a wonderful prophecy, and this is the dedication of this entire video. I dedicate this entire video to the prophecy given by Malachi in chapter 3. We're going to start with verse 13. Your words have been harsh against me, says Yahuwah. You have said, what have we spoken against you? But you have said it is worthless to serve Elohim. And what did we gain when we guarded his charge? And we walked as mourners before Yahuwah of hosts. And now we are calling the proud blessed. Not only are the doors of wrongness built up, but they also try Elohim and escape. In verse 16, then shall those who fear Yahuwah speak to one another, and Yahuwah will listen, and he will hear, and a book of remembrance be written before him of those who fear Yahuwah and those who think upon his name. And they shall be mine, says Yahuwah of hosts, and on that day I prepared a treasured possession, and I shall spare them as a man spares his own son who serves him. Then you will see the difference between the clean and the unclean, those who serve Elohim and those who do not serve Elohim. We see that in the last days that this particular subject is going to divide the clean from the unclean, that those who are thinking and meditating upon his name are going to be written in a book. This video is dedicated to that book. I want my name and the name of your children and all of you who are watching around the world to be recorded in this book. Meditate upon his name. Search out the things that I am telling you. See if the things that I am telling you are true and if they hold up. And then in chapter 4 he says that there's a day that is coming that is burning like an oven after he divides the clean from the unclean. It says that those who think on his name, that fear his name, the Son of Righteousness will rise with healing in his wings, that the righteous are going to trample the wrongdoers. They're going to be like ashes under their feet. In verse 4 he says, remember the Torah of Moses. And then we see in verse 5 he says, see, I am sending you Eliyahu, who is Elijah, is what they call him, the prophet before the great and terrible day of Yahuwah does come. Remember Yahuwah's story through Eliyahu, Elijah. Elijah was a prophet. In the days of Elijah, if you read the records in the Kings, Elijah comes up to the prophets of Baal and he challenges them. And he says to the prophets of Baal, the Lord, remember Baal means the Lord, he says to these prophets, how long will you decide between two opinions? If Yahuwah is God, then worship him. And we know the great showdown that Eliyahu had with the prophets of Baal, with those people who were calling on the name of the Lord. Remember, Lord means Baal. These people were calling the Father Baal to make an ecumenical movement so that anybody could come along and worship this particular ambiguous deity. When you call him Baal, he could be any Baal. He could be the Muslims Baal, the Christians Baal. He could be any Baal. But when you say Yahuwah, there's only one. There's only one. And this is what Eliyahu was saying. He is not Baal. He is Yahuwah. He has a name. So we see that Eliyahu is coming back. The word Eliyahu means my God is Yahuwah. And the Spirit is moving throughout the earth. And people are beginning to call on his name name as prophesied in the book of Joel. When we would preach his name, we would say his name, we would proclaim his name, and we would read his name no matter what man said. Now, let's look at those Hebrew letters once again. Yod, He, Wah, He, Yahuwah. The Yod in the Hebrew pictures is a symbol of a hand. The He is the symbol of a man with his hands lifted, and it says, behold. This is what it means. Hand, behold. The Wall means nail. And then the last He, again, means behold. Is behold, it's the on the end. It means hand, behold, nail, behold. We see that the Father gave us the picture of salvation in his name. His name is his self-expression. His name is his self-revelation. He gave it to himself. It is the revelation he had of who he is. And in his name, the characters represent hand, behold, nail, behold. This goes hand in hand with Zechariah, the prophet, in chapter 12, verse 10, when he says that they will look upon me, talking about all of Israel, they will look upon me who they have pierced, and they shall mourn for him as one mourns for their only son. The Father is saying that they pierced me. When has anyone pierced the Almighty? When has anyone pierced the Almighty? Let's look at King David. We know that Messiah comes through King David. Remember the proverb at the beginning? What is his name? What is his son's name? We've established his name. Now let's establish the son's name. We're going to look at King David's writing in the Psalms in chapter 22. We're going to look it up, and I want you to follow along. Psalms, the Tehillim 22. And we are going to start with verse 16. For dogs have surrounded me, a crowd of evil ones have encircled me, piercing my hands and my feet. I count all my bones. They look, they stare at me. They divide garments among them, and for my raiment they cast lots. But you, O Yahuwah, do not be far off. O my strength, hasten to help me. Deliver my life from the sword, and my only life from the power of the dog. Save me from the mouth of the lion and from the horns of the wild beast. You have answered me. I make known your name to my brothers. This particular prophecy should be lined up with John, Yochanan, chapter 19, where we see Messiah's hands and his feet are pierced, that the Romans are casting lots for his garments, and it says in the Psalms 22, talking about Messiah, he revealed the name of his Father. He came in the name of his Father. He said that I come in my Father's name. He declared his Father's name. We see in John chapter 17 that Messiah would reveal the name. It says that I have revealed your name to them, to keep them in the love that you have for me. Now, let's look at this example of Messiah and line it up with the Talmud. Would Messiah honor the Babylonian Talmud's regulation to not speak the name? Well, let me rephrase it and put it more on this plane. The book of Yeshayahu, Isaiah the prophet, says that Messiah would heal the eyes of one who is blind. Every rabbi that I know agrees with this interpretation, that Messiah would heal the eyes of one who is blind. Now, Yahushua of Nazareth did this. He healed the eyes of one who was blind, according to the scriptures. However, when the man who was healed of his blindness came to the elders, to the rabbis, they asked him, how did he do it? Now, this is where the interesting thing comes from.